What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the Trail Theory Podcast. I'm Brian.
I'm Alex.
I'm Austin.
And I'm Pfeiffer. Welcome back, everybody, to the Trail Theory Podcast. And as you can see in front of us, it's time for Freeze Dry number 5. It sounds like the Mambo number 5. It's the Freeze Dry number 5.
You're pumped up, dude.
I am, dude. I'm so excited.
Alex Trebek over here.
These are my favorite episodes because I love to eat. And I had the pleasure and honor of selecting the dishes this evening. So I'm excited to see what you guys think.
A little bit of peak refuel on my mind. A little bit of Mountain House.
All right, Mambo remix coming soon from the Trail Theory Podcast.
Oh, God.
Let's go.
Those of you who aren't familiar, we've done this a few times, but we are going to taste
4
test.
times. This is the 5th now.
This is the 5th.
We've gotten countless requests. Countless requests. Thousands of requests for another freeze dry.
Do more.
Most of them are just me sending messages in from different
When are
accounts.
we going to eat, guys?
Do more freeze dry.
Was that you outside my house that one night screaming
holding
about
a
it?
stereo up?
Yeah, that was weird.
More freeze dry, please.
Playing Mama number 5 on the
I
stereo.
called the cops. That was weird.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and I had to run away. So we are going to taste test these 4 meals. These are ones that I'm pretty confident none of us have had.
No, I took a look. I haven't had any of those.
And
I didn't read them all, but I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, I think there's a new brand in here that none of us have even had the brand, let alone the meal. The other brands we've had before, but not the meals. So we're going to go through, taste these up, and it's not a shootout.
It's a shootout.
But it's a shootout.
And see what we think.
I look forward to saying all of them would taste better if we added sriracha. So I'm just going to say that right now.
I almost...
I didn't bring sriracha, but maybe next time I will. I'll do it for myself.
I had to stop at the store before I came over, and I almost grabbed a bottle
Melinda's?
just because I knew you were going to say that, and I almost was being like, "Oh man, how great would this be to just pull it out?" And
I just wanted to pre-rec all of them.
Yeah.
With that sentiment. So
you just like spicy.
Yeah, I think
I
think that's
think
true.
that's the
We
issue.
don't have Alpine Air, so I don't know what's going to get last place. But we do have peak refuel, so I know what's going to get first place.
Yeah, I would
We'll
say
see.
if
I will-
the trends continue.
Yeah, and we'll go through. I can run through them real quick first before we start.
How about we just
do
let
that-
one
we do
at a
that
time?
one at a time.
One
Yeah,
at a time.
Okay, serve a
Let's not change the
I
formula.
will about that. Since you mentioned peak refill, though, this is a new flavor. At least when I bought it, which was a few weeks ago. But I think it's one of their newer.
We'll talk
meals.
about it when we
Yeah.
get to it. It's
in
not
a world
first.
where they can do no wrong. Let's
Well,
see.
we'll see.
So,
We'll see.
how
I'm
they
ready.
do.
Real quick, so there's no real theme, right? It's just 4 that you found interesting.
I
correct?
tried. I'm going to lie, and I'm going to tell you the real answer. The lie is I tried to make it like a around the world kind of thing. There's a little bit of Italian. There's a little bit of American. And it's random selections.
It would have been better. Yeah, no, it's definitely a theme. It's
I
around the
wanted
world.
to take everybody around the world. It's
like
from the
Epcot.
coast
It's
of-
kind of there.
Kind of like Epcot.
There's a little bit of Latin America. There's a little bit of Italian.
little bit of Monaco. Sorry, this is right there.
Oh,
Well, let's fucking rip
let's
this
do it.
off.
Are we ready?
I'm going to start her off, okay?
We're gonna
Yeah.
start with ReadyWise. So Austin, if you want to
Yeah,
bust into
man.
that, and tell us what we're looking at.
ReadyWise.
Ooh, the
Fucking
pouch
bear
is
tore the
hot.
pouch
All right, so
off.
ReadyWise, this is the Desert High Chili Mac. We've got beans elbow macaroni as opposed to
You're
knee
pumped
macaroni.
up too, man.
I'm trying to be enthusiastic for the listeners.
He's trying to match
at
my
home.
energy right now.
What did you guys do before?
I had 1 beer, so relax.
Yeah, but you had a line of Coke over there.
That's not even funny.
Just kidding.
All right, seasoned beef, ground beef in a rich beef sauce. So beans, mac, and
Beans, greens.
lamb,
You're
ham,
idiots.
ram.
So, ReadyWise. This is a second, I guess, presentation from
We had
ReadyWise.
one
What was the
last
last
time.
one?
No odals. It was
Yeah.
the noodles and beef last one, which was a
Had
hit.
some gross.
Oh, Brian didn't like it.
I had mushrooms, right?
Mushrooms.
Yeah, mushrooms.
We like the
Yeah.
it
mushrooms.
was
Brian
a
didn't.
stroganoff. It was
No
good.
noodles was
We
This
haven't
is
had a
steaming, dude.
yeah, we haven't had a chili mac. I looked back. I think in our first episode we did, but since then, chili mac
I
is
thought we
like
did have
one
one.
of the. I think every brand has one.
Yeah.
It's like staple freeze-dried meal territory.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like fettuccine Alfredo.
Right.
Like
And
everybody's got one.
For everybody that hasn't seen any of the other freeze-dried episodes, we all try to not make faces or expressions or give clues.
passing.
Right.
That way, if it really does suck, we all have to eat the suck.
But we also have.
I mean, give an honest opinion,
We
right?
haven't all been good at that.
Right.
No, especially the
It's
first
hard.
Good or
what was
bad?
it?
It's
The
hard.
first,
Yeah,
technically, the first three weren't on
video,
on
yeah,
video.
right, yeah.
So we really just recently kind of it was our first video was a freeze-dried episode.
So we gotta maintain our poker faces.
Yeah, but previously we were just looking at each other in the mic.
What's like the hard part is I could look into Alex's eyes and I don't need him to make a face.
We know each other so well that like I just know by looking at one of you guys what you're thinking.
I already know how you feel.
Is it as hot as the
It's
bag
not.
is?
It's not terrible.
Dude,
It's good.
Yeah,
The bag is-
I mean, it's
yeah,
pretty
it's
hot,
steaming.
but you're not gonna like
But so this being Chili Mac, I did want to.
I'm excited to talk about this one.
Knowing that we've only done one and it's such a like everyone does it, I want to compare like same meals, different brands and
for
kinda
sure.
see what it stands
I mean,
up.
this isn't one that I would typically pick.
Same.
So I think the last
My
time
tummy
that we
rumbling.
did it, so I think the last Chili Mac that we got was a Mountain House.
I think it was. You're right.
Yeah, and
It was runny, wasn't it?
It was super runny. I don't know.
There was good consistency in this bag.
I guess I was like, with that one, I thought it was going to be mac and cheese with chili, but it was more cheese and then
yeah.
a little bit of noodle.
This off the rip, less noodle,
Less
more
noodle,
other stuff.
More other stuff. I
The
got to
noodles
be
are
honest,
big.
like I'm delighted by this
I am
bag.
too, actually.
This is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
You know
Heck
what?
yeah.
You know what this bag needs?
Shut up. Don't even
Dude,
say it.
I'm gonna
you're right.
say it.
You
I
are
don't
right.
need to say it.
Some crackers
But this reminds
and
me.
some sour cream.
Ooh.
This reminds me of the inside of a chili cheese burrito from Taco Bell. If you
Wow.
put that
Really?
in a
That's
tortilla,
specific.
yeah, dude. There's a certain like seasoning taste
It
in
needs
there.
a tortilla.
If you put that in a tortilla and toasted that over the fire all day long, I would eat the shit out of that.
All right, so
A little cheddar cheese in
I
there.
think the note about the balance between noodles.
There's plenty
is,
of noodles in here, though.
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
if you
for sure,
remember
for
it.
sure. It's not light on noodles.
I didn't
but
get a big
usually
noodly bite then.
It's
The
very
noodles are
easy.
big.
Yeah, it's very easy in a freeze dry meal to be like 98% noodle and nothing else.
I will say this too. So like some features that even some of the better meals have, freeze dried meals have, is sometimes like there can be like a little bit of a gritty texture. This rehydrated super well.
Yeah.
This is a moist meal, which
yeah.
is kind
It
of
is.
rare in a lot of ways.
That was more noodly.
especially with how much meat there is.
I feel like some of the beans might not have
Gotten quite there.
dehydrated enough. Some of the beans are a little crunchy, but not bad
I got
crunchy.
2 solid bites. I mean, in any bag you're gonna maybe have a little pockets here and there, but
I
it
feel
was
like
solid.
getting everything mixed consistently, and that's
It's
kind
on-
of a feat in and of itself. And
Yeah,
that's not
agreed.
that's not even a user error. I feel like brand to brand, even when you're like
I guess it
mixing
depends on
like
the band
like
packaging, too.
crazy, it
Yeah.
just I don't know. Sometimes
So
it doesn't feel
let's
right.
look because we didn't do this yet for this. So
What's the calorie load on
full
that?
package 660. So 660 calories for the full pack.
would
I'm
guess
actually
more.
surprised. I would have guessed more too.
Yeah,
it's
pasta's
decent,
usually
but
dense.
Yeah, and ready wise, I will say generally lower on the calorie number. Even on the beef stroganoff, which was another pasta, we were surprised at how low it was. Because then you get a pasta from Peak Refuel. It's like
And it's
1,200
Yeah,
calories.
it's like 900 minimum.
So yeah, lighter on the calories, but I mean that's solid. And the I might have ripped off. Here, hold this for a sec. I saved the top part.
Box tops.
Yeah.
You
Well,
trade them in for your
there's.
school.
I was gonna say there's some interesting things with the ReadyWise, right?
No, let's
Oh,
hear it.
yeah.
You can
Save
cut
the
the
badges.
package. You can cut the package, like little badge.
Oh,
in
yeah,
that
yeah,
area.
yeah.
And
We
it's
like-
been
okay,
for
we
years.
little
we
badges.
figured this out after we recorded that episode that we had ReadyWise for the first time. But on the back, it has a patch or a badge.
Well,
No,
on
it's
the front,
the
this
front
badge on the
patch.
front.
Yeah, the front.
If you
patch.
send all those in, you get swag.
yeah, like shirts.
And there's
we're
1, 2,
doing
3,
this,
4,
right?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
we
10,
haven't
11,
saved
12,
any of them
13.
since.
There's 13 that we have to save up.
Oh God.
Yeah, there's a
Better
lot.
get cracking.
So,
That's
but
bullshit.
as
No.
typical ReadyWise, though, this was one of the downsides on the no odals was 2 cups of water.
Yeah,
That's a lot of water.
A lot of water.
And
How long did it take to cook?
12, 15 minutes. So 15.
But I will say,
15.
like, it is
Yeah.
moist without being like too runny. Like 2 cups, dude, that absorbed
It
a
used
lot.
all of it.
Because
It used all of
dude,
it.
it
I
used
agree.
all of
Yeah.
it because that was not soupy. I think sometimes something like this, like a spoon, would probably be better. But you could totally down this with a fork with no problem.
Or a spork?
I think.
There you go, spork.
And I haven't always had this concern, but we've talked about it. The water thing for me is starting to become a problem. If I need 2 cups for that,
I just
and
won't do
say
it for
that-
2 cups.
Yeah, I say that because
Depends on the trip.
when I recently went out to the Red again, we the route that we did was very limited on water.
Yeah.
And dude, 2 cups.
That's a lot.
I
Either
remember
have to camel up a ton,
salvaging
or,
it at the end of the one
Yeah.
night, and then like, well, I guess we're gonna finish it all.
Depending on how much.
and we have to get 2 miles into the
Depending
trail
on how
the
much
next
water
day.
you're bringing, that could be 25+% of all your water you have.
I know. I mean, that's
You
a
know,
lot, right?
That's a lot. And that's one meal.
And it's good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting next to a stream, I'm into that.
All right, but no other brand is giving you riddles and jokes on the back of their bag.
Yeah, buddy.
That's
All right,
true.
here we go.
Bring it on.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Harry.
Harry who?
Harry up. It's time to hike.
Oh my god.
yeah, there's a reason why no one else is giving you jokes.
Hey, we got to laugh.
All right. Oh, we got answers on the bottom of the pouch here. Let's see here.
Yeah,
What,
just don't,
doing
don't,
for the
riddles?
don't
Oh,
wear
for the
chili
riddles?
mac.
I sealed it pretty
The
well.
day before 2 days after the day before tomorrow is Saturday. What day is it today?
I'm gonna need to write
The
this
day
down.
before 2
visualize it.
days after the day after tomorrow.
The day before 2 days after the day before tomorrow is Saturday. The day before 2 days after
I don't like those.
just read
Do
it.
it. Is it Saturday?
It's Friday.
Friday.
I'll understand it later.
That's one of those I would have to like see with my eyes.
Yeah.
To like think,
There's a joke. What do you call a camper without a nose or a body?
I don't know.
Body.
Hey,
Nobody
what-
knows.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
right,
Ready
we're
Wise,
done.
you don't need jokes on your
No,
back.
we love it. We
I
love you,
love
Ready
it. It's
Wise.
campy.
Those are
It's campy. It's
awful.
cool.
So, chili mac.
There is a camping hack on the back here, though.
Okay.
Use a vegetable peeler to shave strips of soap for single-use hand washing.
Okay.
Oh,
Now
okay.
That's good.
is a
Say-
pretty good hack.
You know why? Because we talked about this on one of the episodes previous when we were talking about the neurovirus. We were talking about
That must have been
one of the
listening.
viruses that happened in Havasu Falls,
Yeah.
where people are just using Purell, but Purell doesn't kill those types of viruses. So
And it doesn't remove it from your hands.
Soap and water is the way that you need to
Yep.
do that, and
Yep.
Uh,
that's a great tip. So
There's
okay, Ready
there's-
Wise, you've got some redeeming qualities in
All right,
that.
there's 3 bonus jokes on the bottom. We're not going to do
We're
that.
not.
Yeah, what is this? A
I
joke
know.
book or a meal?
But here's another thing. Seek and find. The illustration
more
on the
thing,
front
then.
is more than a pretty picture. There are 6 faces hidden
Yeah.
in the illustration. Can you find them all?
Yeah, they all have a
Interesting.
They all have a Where's Waldo type, seek and find thing on the front.
insane.
It's a fun little thing.
I guess if
I
you're
love
bored,
it. No,
if you're
dude,
bored while you're
if the
hiking,
food,
cool.
if the food sucked, then those would just be gimmicks. But I think
thoughtful.
they back it up. They
No,
got the,
I'm actually pretty happy with that. That tasted good. I would
Yep.
definitely eat that on the trail. It's interesting. I probably wouldn't have picked it up off the shelf,
Same.
but I might look at that now. I mean,
Nice.
that was
All right.
actually pretty good.
I like that. It's
so.
cool.
Yeah.
Do we want to hit the next one?
I think that was
Yes.
an easy. It would be for me an easy, safe choice on
Yeah.
the trail.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
I'd be curious to see what that would maybe do to my stomach.
Oh,
Since
you'll
I
find
have
out.
Well, there's a
sensitive
full bag
stomach,
here.
but
Why don't you shotgun
Yeah,
it?
shove it.
I haven't eaten
Shove it
today,
down.
so that
Let
might
it
be
rip,
something
man.
I have
It's
to
only
do.
660 calories
Yeah,
for that whole
might
bag.
have to go.
That's a good.
Get
It's
you some.
I'm gonna have to. The brand was on the very top portion that
It's
gets
also on the
torn up.
back.
Is it on
Go
the back?
Bighorn.
So
or go
Bighorn
home.
Mountain Food, I think. or
Bighorn Mountain Food is our
Wheels.
next one.
I have not
And this
heard
is
of
not
this
one.
before.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Right. This is the one that I saw, and I was
Where did-
confident none of us have had. I actually
Where
got it on
did
Amazon.
you find? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I was gonna say
which
where
Amazon
did you
has
find
a
it?
very limited selection. If you've checked it out at all,
Interesting.
it's basically Mountain House, Backpackers Pantry,
Bighorn,
I think,
Little Horn, and
no, ReadyWise. Actually,
when
I don't think
when
is
I
on there.
hear
And then
Amazon.com, I
this one.
usually don't think limited, so that's kind of a surprise.
It's strange. I would have thought, oh, Peak Refuel's all over. You can get all of Peak Refuel on Amazon, and then you can get Mountain House and Backpackers Pantry.
Oh,
so
that's kinda nice to know.
Bighorn Mountain Food. I like that. Mountain Food.
Mountain Food.
That's a cool.
Mountain food.
Rich and creamy pasta carbonara.
I like a
Pasta.
carbonara.
I love a carbonara.
I would order this.
I would probably pick this up.
I would
I would
pick this
too.
up. So I'm excited to try this one.
pasta and a velvety sauce made with Parmesan, pecorino cheeses, eggs, and crispy.
Did you just say pecorino cheeses?
Yeah,
yeah.
bro.
Dang, man.
With a nice pancetta.
And crispy
Bighorn out here.
pancetta. Yeah, crispy pancetta.
Forgot to put my spork over here.
Oh, jeez.
Slicing my
Whip
hand
it.
apart.
Bighorn
All right.
using big kid flavors.
I haven't even
right.
tasted this, and there's just intriguing things here on the front that look really good. There are 39 grams of protein, 800 calories.
Yep.
800. Okay.
That is-
There we
and,
go.
And the
dude.
packaging, it's the squatty bag.
Squatty
It
bag.
is
I
a
love a
squatty
squatty
bag.
bag.
Squatty
Squatty
bags,
bag, dude.
You
All right,
know we love
let's
a
rip
squatty
it.
bag.
Yep. And why do we like the squatty bags?
Because easier to get into,
Easier
baby.
to get
Yep.
into.
Now
You don't
that
have to
doesn't mean
hacksaw that top off.
that doesn't mean you can't take your knife and saw
Clean it up.
that
Right,
part,
but then
it
if
is
you
nice
do
because
that,
you can reseal
exactly.
it and
if
put
you
it
take,
in your trash
so
bag.
ReadyWise, take notes, but we do love your bag at the same time. But if I were to make the ReadyWise bag into a squatty bag, I'd lose the resealable
Yeah,
aspect.
correct.
Yeah, and when you're cutting it, there's a potential that you could, your meal could land up on the ground.
that is a
I don't
risk.
know if that's ever happened before.
Alex, you're up.
And what I think, I don't
No,
know.
that was a floor
that
du
didn't
jour.
happen.
Yeah,
that
that was floor du jour.
floor
That
as
du
we
didn't,
jour.
called
happen,
it.
that didn't happen when I was cutting the bag. That happened when I was putting the water in.
It did. Yes.
You spilled a bag?
Floor du jour, yeah.
I spilled a little bit of my meal.
A little squirrel treat?
Yeah.
But
A
I mean,
raccoon?
squatty bags are going to have lower center of gravity, so lower risk of that happening
True
too.
deal.
So hey, it's
True.
science.
It is science.
But yeah, and actually, I
It's
mean,
science.
we haven't gotten there yet. But Mountain House, which we'll hit, I think they've pretty much adopted the squatty bag.
They did.
across
They
the
changed-
board.
they changed their packaging.
That looks
it's
squattier.
They changed their
almost,
packaging.
We'll get to it. Almost to a fault
is
because
it
it
a
was
Pro
harder
Pack?
to cook that.
Is it a Pro Pack or no? Or is it just a regular Mountain House?
No, it's just a regular one. But
What do you mean harder to cook that?
The food inside was like all the way up to the seal.
Oh.
Like it was limited room to actually kind of stir
In
stuff
the
around.
ReadyWise?
No, in the Mountain House.
Oh,
So when we get there, I opened it up and I was surprised. I'm like, oh, it's like almost to the top. Oh man, I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel I've looked on
Curious.
Amazon before. I feel like I haven't seen this. I don't know if it's new or I just missed it. But
I've never seen it.
they have several interesting flavors.
Tomorrow
if you check
we're
out their stuff.
all going to get Instagram ads for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do have my phone on me. That's going to happen now.
Oh, Bighorn's
Bighorn's gonna call us.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So, I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty f***ing good.
It's good.
That was awesome.
It's good.
Brian or Pfeiffer's spilling some, so that means it's real good.
Yeah.
Whenever you get it on your lap.
Once he starts making sounds, we'll know it's good.
I don't think this tastes like a freeze dried meal.
I was thinking, I'm like, dude, if you put this on a fucking plate and served it for like family dinner, it'd be good.
I will say,
Like,
if there is anything I don't like, that I do think the cheese is a little chalky, but overall, that's really good. It's and the
Yeah.
sauce is a little gluey, but at the same time, it's delicious.
I'm gonna
The
go. I'm
flavor's
gonna
really
go on a
good.
limb here. This is peak refuel pesto pasta level stuff for me. I'm at that level.
I think I
agree
like
with
this
you.
better than pesto pasta.
you think?
really
Haven't just
that'd
had
be a-
wow.
that'd be a
Actually,
good
I will
shootout.
say,
You know
I
what?
will say
That'd
this
be a good
for this
shootout.
reason. This I feel like is creamy and cheesy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The pesto pasta.
It was a little runny.
Sometimes I feel like it's just not like
Not enough.
I don't know. And a pesto is a strong flavor.
Yeah.
So
That's not.
so they didn't want to overdo it to like. But I'm a fucking saucy guy. Like give it to me. Like I want to And this thing.
If
this
you haven't
is
noticed,
this is a cheesy
sriracha.
dish. Yeah.
And I mean,
I love the
all
pancetta.
these are made exactly to the water, recommendation, and
We
that
should
is a
have mentioned that.
solid.
This is a
I mean,
rockin'.
that's a good
This is a rockin'
consistency.
meal.
That's
This is
a
a
good
rockin'
one.
meal. You guys are f***ing talking out of your ass saying that it's not as good as the pesto, but
No, I'm saying.
No, I think it is as good as the pesto.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
saying it's better.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. You're talking out of your ass saying it's better than the pesto.
Oh, you think it's
Oh,
not
you think
better
it's
than
not
the
as good?
pesto?
No,
Oh,
dude.
okay. I'm
You
saying.
out of
I
your
think it's on
mind?
the level. I'd have
It's
to.
pretty
I'd have to
close.
taste them side by side.
I
but
think
I'm-
that's really,
I just
really
really-
fucking good.
I just had the pesto a few weeks ago, and I will say I only had like 4 bites because I wasn't feeling very good. But like, I don't know. If I can remember correctly, I would almost prefer to had that.
I think that's better. But personally, I think on the trail, I like the flavor in that better than.
Yeah, I think you're right too.
And I love pesto.
Get that.
I don't know.
I do
Way
think
down
it's
here?
good, but I do think that there's like the Parmesan kind of has like a chalky taste to it.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Parmesan's a.
I can get over that. I'll
Is it
smack
fair to
that with
say
a
it's
little
a more
sriracha and be
chalky of a
happy as hell.
cheese than? I mean, it's a.
It's
Parmesan has a
it's
different. It's a
rehydrated.
different
Could use
cheese.
more of the.
I thought that the peak
pancetta.
refuel like rehydrated better. I could just feel. Listen,
It's great.
it's really really good.
Shootout.
It's really really good. I'm
thought
just
about that.
surprised you guys are ranking it up with one of the goats.
That's
I do
gonna be
think-
that's gonna be hard to beat.
We've done 5 of these now. I do think that we should take the bests and put them
Do
up
a best
against
of.
each other. Do the
and,
best
and
of.
stack them. Yeah,
I agree.
And just to see.
Do it
because
again.
we do typically rate them at the end in our order. Right?
Yeah, we do.
Flavor is
on
like,
his
you
lap.
know.
He was trying to get
What
too
is
big.
wrong with
he's
you?
No, he's too excited, and he gets too big of an amount on his fork, and so when it comes out of the bag, it gets on his. See, this is part of leave no trace.
Yeah,
Take
I was just gonna
smaller
say.
forkfuls when you're getting out of the
No,
bag.
Or
No.
leave no trace.
Or
do
eat it
the,
off the
do the
ground.
prep and
I'm
just
saving-
remember to bring your sport.
I'm
that
saving
wouldn't
energy.
happen.
What a fucking animal.
Less in and out. Just get it going. That's
guy.
delicious.
It's delicious.
It's really good.
very
It is very, very good.
Very
I'd want to try more of those.
I think next
I
time we
agree.
do one,
We
there's
have to get
Bighorn.
more.
has to
Bighorn's
come.
on the
Yeah.
menu.
The fact that
We've got to try more.
I've
of those.
never seen
this
it.
actually-
I know it's on Amazon though now. Is helpful.
That makes it easy.
I was
makes it very easy.
I was a little torn because they had some other flavors that were
pun intended or
they had some other flavors that were really unique and we hadn't tried before, and I'm like,
Lay it
I
on
went-
us.
So I'm
What were some of the ones?
I'm blanking on it now. I'll have to look it up. But I
Was
was
it
torn.
cat food?
No,
Stop
Dog
that
food.
unique.
no.
I was
but
showing dog
I will
food.
say they have stuff that's not your typical
Oh, really?
teriyaki chicken,
Okay.
and it's like they have some other cool stuff. I need a beer.
No.
yeah.
Great.
Let's get in the treasure chest.
Yeah, give me one while
I
you're
guess
in
it
there.
probably should get me one too.
This
And so far-
this intermission brought to you by Miller Lite.
Brought to you by Miller Lite, a fine pilsner. No, I will say all of these so far have been good with beer. So if you're inclined to bring a beer with you while you're backpacking, it would be delicious.
First night brewskis.
That's right.
Pack in,
You've
pack
done that
out.
before, Aston, haven't you?
Aston?
Aston.
Austin. I said Austin.
It sounded like it's Aston.
Aston
I
Martin.
also had some. I
You
was
also,
swallowing some
You also
saliva.
kept them cool in the creek at Dollar Creek.
Bro. So it was the first night of a
It's respectable.
chill
Dolly Sod-
backpacking
it was
trip.
Dolly Sods too.
The second time we went to Dolly Sods, where we were like, we're spending a full day at one campsite, not hiking. So
Right.
I packed in cold. They were cool, really cold in the cooler. I wrapped them in aluminum foil.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
To keep them really cold. And then when we got to the campsite, I put them in the water.
Yep.
And they were super cold, and it was like the perfect thing. And they, smashed down real tight, so I can pack
Right.
them out. Like,
Yep.
dude, it was perfect. I'll do that again for sure.
I'm saying
For chill trips, that's
on our winds trip. There's going to be glacier lakes.
Oh yeah.
If you wanted a beer, whether you could take it out warm, I'm confident.
And put it
could
in
get
and
cold.
just wait for an
for
hour.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
No, You're
sure.
probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That water
and it could be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I think
pack
on a trip
beer.
like Dolly it is. I don't know if I would for the winds, but when there's an intentional day, or at least large part of a day, where it's
What,
like
just
we're
because of the weight?
doing nothing.
I might.
I'm just
know.
gonna sit
I might
and lounge.
flip. I might flip a cold, not a cold boy, but a crispy boy in my pack, and we'll see. We'll
just
see.
see.
We'll see how you feel about it when I
and
crack
then,
one
Pfeiffer's
open.
gonna be sitting there super jealous. Just
yeah,
like,
spilling food all over your lap. Like, man, I wish I had a beer.
I'll be eating a bunch of Bighorn.
There's one thing I crave on the trail.
bunch
Almost
of big-
every
I bet
single
that
time.
I bet that fits really nicely into a beer canister. By the way,
Nerds gummy
Oh,
clusters.
that's true.
Those squatties?
No, as a
Squatties.
drink, I always crave a can of Coke when I'm on the trip. Always.
liter of cola.
Liter of cola. Do we have liter of cola? No, I always crave Coke. I don't know. I might try that.
I think it's a thirst thing because, like, I don't ever drink soda.
Oh, I
But there's
do.
something
No,
about when
never.
I'm crazy, like dehydrated, like a crazy cold, like
Cold.
ice cold
It's the
Coke.
crisp, carbonated.
Yeah.
It's
feel of it.
refreshing.
It's more the feel of it than the
Yes.
taste.
And then I have like half of it. I'm like,
Oh, dude, I can down those. All
I'm
right,
outta here.
let's get into this next one.
This is
These Miller Lights are delicious.
dude,
I'm very excited for how well Bighorn did because of how high the expectations are
For
peak
this,
refuel. Yeah.
and this is one that we've never tried before.
This,
I'm
is,
gonna
this is one we've never had
I'm
before.
gonna say this before we try this. At some point,
they're going to disappoint us.
they're going to disappoint
it's
us.
going to happen. I
I
know.
man.
All right, so
It might not be tonight.
it might not be.
Yeah.
Well, the description on this just, oh man, I'm too excited for this one. So this is a backcountry bison bowl. This is a signature meal from a hunter, and I don't know, is he a
UFC
former
fighter.
fighter?
Yep.
Chad Mendez, which I personally don't know anything about this dude. I'm sure some listeners might know a little bit.
Shout out to Chad.
Put a
Big Chad
comment.
Mendez.
Put a comment and let
He
us know.
has several meals with Peak Refuel.
Yeah.
Yes.
This one is ground bison, which I love, in a creamy sauce with rice, beans, and buttermilk biscuits.
There are two big old
Buttermilk.
biscuits.
Okay,
in
I was
that.
going to
Oh,
ask
yeah.
what the biscuits look like because
whole biscuit. two
Okay.
whole biscuits, tiny but whole, and then so I didn't. When I
don't
stirred them up,
crumble
they
them up
didn't.
or
They
anything?
didn't
You don't
crumble
do
up.
anything?
They're in there. So as we stir it around,
We have to break
I
it
can
apart.
feel 'em in
You
there.
gotta break them apart.
we may break them apart. Or I don't know what's going to happen exactly.
Just get
but
your fork in there and see what happens.
There's two big old biscuits in there.
Just fork that up.
930 calories for the bag.
Yep.
Oh, they're sitting there.
Let me get this whole lean it over. Let's get our eyes on this.
Yeah. I mean, they're just chilling on top.
Oh, that's a fucking full biscuit.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
All right, let's see.
So that's going to be a test. I wonder how well those rehydrated.
I'm gonna break one of these up.
Definitely break them up.
So, if it were warm outside, I don't know if I'd want a biscuit.
Yeah, I hear that.
That's like, saying like,
crave-
it's 80 degrees outside.
Yeah, but-
let me smack this bowl of chili.
But dude,
Yeah.
you're gonna get. That's where those calories are coming
hey,
from, though.
I don't disagree. It could be just delicious, and then it just doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with the sentiment.
easy, Pfeiffer.
That's the test. If it ends up on your lap, then
You could not boil the water though, right? And just have it kind of cold if you wanted to, right?
I mean, you could do that with any freeze dried
Yeah,
meal, but it's
that's
going
what
to
I'm
be like Chex Mix.
It'll be room
textured.
temperature.
Yeah.
Well,
well, no, the biscuit.
Carrying
You're talking about the biscuit.
This thing's heavy.
It's
I'm just
heavy
talking
and
about
hot as
putting
shit.
not hot
crunch,
water in
crunch
there.
up those
just-
biscuits a
oh,
little
Just
bit
doing
more.
cold water. Just
Yeah,
letting
yeah.
it cold soak them.
I will say this.
It'll take a lot longer to hydrate.
Just right
Right,
off the
yeah.
bat, just because I'll mention this because you'll see it eventually, but biscuits are pretty crumbly, or
Pretty hard.
pretty whole still. They didn't
Whole
dehydrate
still.
super well to the into the middle.
Is that
Okay.
right?
Yeah, so just
I wonder
you have
because
to
they were
crunch 'em
if
up
they
a
were
little
floating
bit.
on top or
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be part of it. But
Were any of the ones? Did any of the ones that we had already? Did you have to open up, stir, and then close back up again?
technically the Mountain House one, but I just kind of sloshed
We haven't
it.
done that yet.
Yeah.
You
I just do a little shake and a slosh.
yeah, sloshing around,
Dude,
massage the
it
bag.
smells really good.
It's hot as shit, dude. My mouth's burning. Yeah.
My bite wasn't bad.
Well,
Maybe
good
we
for
have
you.
different sensitivities to heat.
maybe.
Oh, temperature wise, you mean?
I thought it was okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is.
I'm excited.
This is a whole.
Yeah, it's a
See,
fucking
I
biscuit.
remember having their biscuits and gravy, and I thought it was one of the best things I've ever eaten.
I liked their
Did we-
biscuits and gravy.
And
we
it
have
was-
had Peak Refills biscuits and gravy.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and the
Yes.
biscuits were pretty moist.
Right.
Because I had the
But they
store-
were like
Same?
they were like little biscuits though.
no,
Weren't they?
they
Were
were
they-
big.
were they?
They were too like this, but they rehydrated pretty well.
The fact that is a crunchy biscuit and it's been sitting in fucking water for 20 minutes is crazy.
Yeah. I just maybe it wasn't like as deep down as maybe it should have been, but that's okay. So just going back to the biscuits and gravy from Peak Refuel, because I remember saying this on the podcast, like I had it on the trail, and I shouldn't have listened to Greg. He told me do less than you should have, than he should have. He had it before. It sucked. He thought there was too much water, so he told me to do less. When I did it, it was like glommed and just yeah, dude. And the biscuits
Yeah.
were rocks.
Like Brian's
and I was so
foot
mad.
at Dolly Sods coming out of the mud.
I was so mad. And then when we tried it here, we did the correct amount, or at least the suggested amount, and it was perfecto.
Did he have the same biscuits and gravy? Because there's biscuits and gravy
Exact
from
same
everywhere.
one.
It was the same
Exact
manufacturer.
same one.
Huh? Are we passing it
Are
back
we
around?
doing comments?
Oh, yeah.
I want to taste it again. Nothing special to me.
I'm my stomach is full thinking about eating more. That is heavy.
It's pretty heavy, dude.
And don't get me wrong, it's 930 calories. I'm good. I
Woo!
don't.
I have. Oh yeah.
9:30.
I like it. It tastes
Christ.
good.
I have
It's heavy.
one critique, and I'm with Austin in terms of the taste, especially if you get a bite without the biscuit. The taste is like, it's adequate. It's kind of all over the place and nowhere at the same time. But one thing
There's a
that
lot going on in that bag.
one thing that I wish they did is bigger chunks of meat, because that's so ground up.
I agree.
I can't even taste.
I was like looking for a piece of bison, and I was like, oh, it's just kind of like I
It's
guess
just
mixed in.
It's
there.
in. It's
Yeah,
smaller
'cause
than
they don't
than
want you
rice.
to know how much or how little they
It's
put in
kind
there.
of it's kind of just like a chili.
But
Like
yeah,
if you were to
Yep.
put to me
and then put a biscuit on top.
to me that's a chili. And what I do with my chili is I grab those like saltine crackers and I crumble those up and put them in there, and it absorbs all.
But
that's exactly what this is.
Yep.
and
essentially it.
That's
that
actually
was real close.
that's
to
actually
the
why
edge.
I kind of like it a lot.
I think, and I have a different. I would have a
do
different
really like
grade
this.
for the biscuits. Were a good call, because if you get a bite with a big chunk of biscuit and everything else.
I think if the biscuits aren't in there, it's nowhere near as good as it is.
Nope.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's too. If no biscuits, it's too much. Yeah, I think they the meat
All right.
is almost.
Let me give it another.
Here's the bummer for me is I'm a huge
it's good,
fan of ground bison.
Yeah.
I love how earthy it tastes. It's just
You don't
got
get
this-
any of that.
You don't get any bison flavor in it, so it's just kind of. It could have been beef, and we would have been all right.
Yeah.
I feel like the bison maybe. No.
Now,
offense, but
having
a
said
little
that-
bit of a marketing thing. With
Having
it.
said that, I am.
The fact that it's a signature dish and there's a fucking hunter on it, dude. That is exactly what that is.
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
But
This is. I feel heavier after 2 bites. This is the densest one we've ever had.
and that's what I'm getting at. When it comes to solving a problem, like you had a hard
Solves.
day, peak refuel again.
If it's cold and
It's-
you're like
right.
dogged, this is a great meal.
Boom.
Hey Brian, if you want to fall asleep on the trail real well, just have a bag of that and just ass out.
I mean, that's what
Oh, if I ate
you guys
that
are
whole
kind of
bag-
down it. I really like this.
I'd be a fucking potato.
I
the
don't
rest
not
of the
like
night.
it. I think it's
It's my
you know what it
least
is?
favorite of the 3, but it's good.
We amped it up because of the front
Well,
of the
I'm
package.
gonna get
Peak
a part
refuel
with no
Do no biscuit.
no biscuit. Real quick.
Yeah. And tell me if anything like jumps out at you. Like, holy shit, this is really good.
It okay. I mean, it just tastes like chili.
Exactly. And chili's good. I like chili.
Yeah, no issues.
But the having it knowing it's bison and be like, oh, it's going to add something. It doesn't really.
How much water went into that?
We didn't look at that. It was a 1 3/4, I think.
do you think that anybody's ever made a thing like that? That combination of food.
Yeah, 1 3/4 cups.
That
That's
wasn't
a lot of water too.
a freeze dried
It's
meal.
because the biscuits. 10 minutes to cook.
Sorry. What'd you say, Austin?
Hold on. So, has anybody look at the combination of things in this thing? Has anybody made this meal not freeze dried?
No.
I mean,
It's kind of a concept dish, I feel like.
no, not with the bison. No.
Maybe it was
I don't
like
know.
leftover.
I was gonna say this is a total like me
Throw it
looking in the
together.
fridge
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
morning. Like,
hold on.
what can I put together?
It's
Take a box of
biscuits.
those, a
It's-
box of those.
with beans
Rice and bison.
and bison. That's
the sauce.
A weird. There's first of all, there's 3 carbs in there, carb heavy things, and then bison.
I think the carb heavy
the cream
thing
sauce.
is on purpose though.
No, I know, but how many things have you ever eaten that have 3 carbs in one?
Wow, that was a
Yeah, I
huge
mean,
One
bite.
dish. That was
wow.
a huge bite. You didn't get any on your lap.
That was
I'm
like a
real proud
huge
of you.
ice cream scoop.
I'm gonna compare it to this.
Yeah, let me. You know what? Let me get another big bite of that big horn. Because that was so good.
Alex getting big horny over here.
That was good, man. I'm straight up ordering bighorn.
Straight up, they get good marketing too.
Dude,
I like
I
the
gotta
logo.
say, this is gonna be hard for
It's
me.
good.
This
you know
is
what?
gonna
Here,
be hard for me.
Here we go. I like that better than Ready Wise.
You like this better than Runny Wise? I agree.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Ready Wise was great, but that is definitely more basic. This has a lot more going on, and it, biscuits saved it for sure for me.
We are going back in bags. We haven't even gotten to number 4.
Bighorn, dude.
We're hungry.
That's the bag.
Big
That
horn.
bag is. Is it hot in here? Delicious.
I am sweating.
If I put Frank's Red Hot in this would almost taste just like what my chili tastes like. I think like how Kay makes like how my wife makes chili. I mean, minus the rice. We don't put rice in there, but like I don't know. This tastes pretty good.
I wonder what really goes into the sauce, that creamy sauce. I mean, it's because that's different. That's not
Yeah,
a
right,
typical
right.
chili thing,
There's sugar, salt.
Don't read all of that.
Juice.
That's ridiculous.
That's a huge
There's
long list.
cumin.
Yeah.
If it has more than 12 syllables.
I like
chili
everyone we've
powder.
had tonight. I like some better than
They
others.
have sour cream in this.
Oh, you know what?
There's
That's what
dehydrated
pesto-
sour cream.
there's
Dude, how
cultured
do you
milk.
think they got to 930 calories?
I know. Pesto
they threw the
pasta-
kitchen sink at it,
Pesto
man.
pasta was like that too. When we looked at it's like, oh, there was oil, like different, how they made it kind
Yeah,
of oily
yeah.
and creamy. They put a lot of actual,
Stuff
food.
in it. Yeah, right. Real food.
stuff in it. It does have an ingredients list that's, a novel.
That
but,
bighorn
yeah.
bag is almost. There's 1 bite left.
It's about
true.
to be 0 bites left.
Well,
But
let's do
go
our
to the
last
one.
one.
So we have Mountain House up last. Squatty bag.
Mountain House, you can find it anywhere.
Mountain House.
Literally.
We've got a chicken fajita bowl.
You can find it at J.C. Penney.
Montgomery
around?
Ward.
I think they're done, or they're about to be.
Sears. Seasoned chicken, white meat with rice, black beans, and roasted, fire roasted peppers. So I would say this is probably like a pretty normal
Yeah,
Yeah.
option.
yeah. But this was.
I've never had it.
A good, if it's good, it's standby flavor that I think.
And
this
if
is
you
what
need,
you're
if
gonna.
you need a little extra attention, it sizzles like a motherfucker when you pour it in there. I'm kidding.
This
I will
was
say, yeah,
when
if
you
you wanna-
open the bag, it has the sizzle like it's and there's flames,
Yeah.
like at Chili's
Yeah.
or
Wait, no, you
Your
have
local
to. The only
Applebee's.
proper way to cook it is on that little cast iron
Right.
that weighs 10 pounds.
Right. I will say if
You
you,
heat
want
up a stone
so everyone looks
with the
"Oh,
fire. Yeah.
What they ordered?
I can see it from here. It's 560 calories. If you needed to calorie this up, you could, since it's a fajita thing,
You saying tortillas?
you could put a tortilla, put a
That's-
tortilla out, and
That's
put it on
what
a
I was
tortilla.
gonna. That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna get at.
I will
Oh,
say of all the
Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes! Did you chip a tooth? Did you chip it? You need a vomit bucket?
wow.
All right, Alex, you're up.
Wow.
Off camera. Wow. Oh, he spit it out. It's coming out. There's
Did you
a
get the
huge
bag?
thing coming out.
What is
What
that?
is that? What is that? Did you take the thing out?
Is that the chicken?
Is that a frog?
That's
Show
supposed.
the camera.
That's the chicken.
It's just an uncooked piece of chicken.
Oh god!
all right.
Uncooked piece of chicken.
It's hard as a rock.
It's hard. Okay, so
all right.
Like a rock.
all right,
All right,
great.
Alex.
And this has been sitting the longest out of all of them too.
No, this was the last to cook.
Well, I mean, but we've been talking through 36 minutes of it.
It's been cooking for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
but it was the
I'm going
last
to
to cook.
preface this for me that I probably wouldn't buy this, but only interesting.
Wow. He's a one biter and a
I
con.
can't believe that happened.
Let's hope that's a fluke or a
That's
cooking error.
insane. I didn't really get a bite. I mean, I did, but
Your fork is still in here.
I was.
He abandoned the fork.
What's
completely.
crazy is like I'm just gonna talk about it now, even though not everybody has gotten to it. I was
Here,
looking
take it
at
back.
it.
He didn't get a bite.
Give me my Let me get it real quick. I was looking in here and I was
Let me get another
admiring
one.
like how thick the chicken chunks looked. I was like, oh damn, there's like thick chunks in here, and then
Boom.
just rock hard. That might have been
Done.
just like a miscut.
I don't know, man.
We'll see.
I like the spice.
I mean, I'm not taking another
Hey,
piece of chicken.
hey.
All right. Hey. Rules.
Saying I like the spice doesn't change things.
Hey.
Now I'm affected. I'm biased now.
You're going to like the spice.
You're gonna like the way you look.
I guarantee it. What if he doesn't like the spice? He's ruined it.
Well,
Freezing cold take.
I'm gonna make you a liar.
Oh my god.
That's a first.
I couldn't
that's
swallow
that's
that.
a spit out. That's a spit.
That's
take.
a walk off camera.
dude, I could not do that here on camera. I need to
Brian
go.
just gave a nice little shiver.
Did anybody else get a piece of chicken?
Huh.
I'm going
Yeah,
for-
I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay.
On both bites, I made sure.
Okay,
It's
good.
chewy.
You got a really messed up one.
Dude, I did. I was
Yeah, you did,
admiring how
definitely.
big. I was like, oh man, look at these big old meat chunks. It may have just been like not hacked through all the way on the machine that hacks the chicken. Because usually they're like, ha! You don't get like big.
Just put the chicken through a machine.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean,
Bones and all.
that's basically. I mean,
Just live.
Sorry, that's not
No,
fun.
What do we?
that's not fun.
All right, so
We're going to be getting hate mail now.
Yeah, right.
spice.
TrailTheoryPod@gmail.com.
It does have the
Dude,
spice.
I like the spice.
It
but
tastes good.
That's
Uh-huh.
about all I like. I didn't
It,
love that.
I
I'm
don't
trying
love
to
it.
imagine it.
boring.
That is cheap taco filling.
It's not even boring. It's just it doesn't.
It's the stuff at a taco bar when it's like catered and it's in those big steel pans. And
Yeah,
it's just,
yeah, yeah.
it's just a bunch of mixed up rice and beans and everything, and you slap
and
it
they're
into a
willing to
tortilla.
give you more than one scoop of that. For
Yeah, 'cause-
sure.
yeah.
That is
It's like, oh, well, we used everything we had the
Yeah.
rest of the week.
that's catered taco filling at like
It's thick.
When the church wants to get real brave and get away from spaghetti,
right. Like we're gonna cook 18 pots of rice, and then just mix in corn and beans.
What did you think of the chicken pieces?
The one I had was fine. It was great.
It was
Hand me that
like
after
moist,
you, Brian.
or
Yeah,
at least like-
I did too. The first one was moist. It wasn't chewy. It just sort of it chewed up fine. The second one was a little tougher, but it wasn't.
Mine was like
anywhere
a chunk
near
of
that.
balsa wood.
Yeah, I think you had something that must have been sitting on the top, but
Not
I
even-
thought it was.
no,
It's adequate.
My piece wasn't sitting on the top. It's just it was too big of a chunk.
Oh, like-
you have to
I
have them
got you.
smaller
Yeah.
for them to. How many big
just
pieces
had
of meat do you ever have?
I
in
just
it?
had a huge chunk, and it was pretty
Pretty good.
soft.
Really.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with yours. Maybe it got stuck in
Tenderoni?
a corner.
Yeah, maybe
Something.
It was bad.
But
The bottom.
it's would I, with all the other options that are available to us, I wouldn't go and grab that. But
I need a
reasonable.
hit.
it is reasonable. It's good.
He gonna do one.
It's
he gonna do one.
it's an adequate meal.
I need to try to get a piece of chicken that's not going to break my tooth.
I will say I don't feel
backwards.
like I need to add.
No.
The
anything.
spice
is
was
good.
good.
Right. I don't need to add.
I don't love
Melinda's to that.
I'm gonna get hurt by this. I don't love fajitas in general. Not my favorite thing in the world.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
I'm surprised.
I like fajitas.
It's just again, I'm my pepper and onion intake is really specific on how it's cooked.
I don't do the onions.
So I guess maybe that's for me part of it. All of these were really dense picks.
Yeah,
They were.
And like for me personally, and I think I'm just noticing a trend on the trail, I don't really want a super dense one. I would absolutely, and I may still, I would order that bighorn and not think twice about it. I
Yeah.
think
I'm
that is
going to, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I might take it on the next trip.
Yeah.
It was very, very good.
I might
others
try,
were very dense
I might
for me.
try another.
I'm
of
gonna
their
look up
flavors
their
before then.
options.
I went backwards and had the chili mac right after the Mountain House one, and
It was better hot.
it changed my opinion a little bit. You think it was better hot? Yeah. Because I don't remember it being that lackluster. I
The chili.
guess.
You're talking about the
the
chili.
chili
mac?
mac.
I think if you heat, I think add a little bit of spice to the chili mac, I'd probably be more into it.
But I wonder if because it was the first thing we tried, we're like, oh, that's actually pretty good. It surprised me a little bit. I wonder if it would have had that same effect if it was in the middle of the pack there.
It's in the middle of the pack for me in my ordering. Still.
Well, I won't give it away for
This
you.
is
but
kind of crazy
for me,
because
but-
being available on Amazon, I'm kind of surprised by this. But
What's
I went,
a package of
But
that
I went to
cost?
their 18.
$18.
That's steep.
Yeah, so
That's the most expensive one that we've ever had.
yeah, so I went to their website first, and
Oh,
it's like
shit.
coming soon. And so like
Oh, so it's new.
it's very new, but they are on Amazon, so that's kind of interesting.
You
but
spent $18 on that?
I love you guys.
I'm so shocked.
so they have a bourbon barbecue pulled pork and
I love you
beans.
guys.
Shut the up.
Hang on.
Wait, what?
That
that
sounds awesome.
Hang on. So yeah,
Keep
so
talking.
bourbon barbecue pulled pork and
Yeah.
beans.
That was the one I was competing with.
with. Oh, this is an interesting one. They have a butter chicken with rice. So Indian butter chicken. Dude,
I
that
might
would
have
be
to spend
slamming.
$18 to try one more of these before our next
Oh,
trip.
buddy, chicken and mushroom marsala.
No.
And
Sounds awesome.
Oh, they got a couple more. Spicy Mexican birria and rice. Ooh, I love birria.
That would just taste just like this fajita bowl.
Well,
Gimme.
we'll see.
And then I think that vegetarian creamy mushroom pasta.
I'd probably eat that too.
yeah.
So yeah. Oh, you can get the carnivore bundle.
Oh,
So
You
there's
didn't order
4
that?
There's 4.
they didn't have it on Amazon.
Oh, this is more expensive than buying them individually. Never mind. Don't
Why?
do that.
Okay, guys, come on.
That's
Why do you do that?
It's not them. It's whoever's trying to resell something, and then they,
Wait, you're
resellers.
looking on Amazon for that then?
Oh, I'm on Amazon.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
their website
I thought
is
it was their
not.
website. Their website's not up.
Maybe that's why
Oh.
I hadn't seen it because I've looked on Amazon before and I feel like I never noticed them.
Interesting.
Maybe they're really new.
They must be brand new.
Well, good for them,
Dude, I will say though, $18 is really steep for a freeze-dried meal.
Well, they back
Agreed.
it up. I mean,
Like, I think 15 is the most we've ever
Well,
spent.
I
on a
think-
I
freeze-dried
agree.
meal.
Peak Refuel
But
has
I'd be
them in the
willing to pay
15 plus range. I know.
Yeah.
I think the
15,
Bison one
16, I
was more than 15.
That kind of makes sense because it's a signature and they've got to pay the guy. And
UFC rights and
yeah.
all that.
That
Yeah.
one was more expensive than
Oh, yeah.
the normal
Yes.
peak refill.
Yes.
Well, interesting enough that we're talking about it, and that one's like a special edition sponsored one. It must be successful because I actually just saw on social media that they are releasing a new flavor tomorrow in conjunction with Meat Eater.
Did you say a new flavor or line? I thought you said line earlier.
Well, okay, so this dude.
Well, no,
So
mentioned-
a new signature line.
I'm guessing it's going to be multiples because they have multiples
Of
with
Jet
this
Days,
dude.
yeah.
So
Okay.
Meat Eater, pretty famous.
But
What's the dude's name?
they're putting
Is
more-
it
a new
Steve
flavor on it.
Brunella? I don't know if it 100% is.
Yeah,
Steve
Steve Brunella.
Yeah.
He's pretty popular dude. I
Yep.
doubt that they would do one off, especially if they did multiple with this guy, and it must be successful, so they're doing it. So,
But they're releasing one meal tomorrow.
I don't know if it's one meal or a line or just the part. I mean, all I saw was
Patience.
said
I'm so
July. So we're
We gotta
recording
wait a
this
couple
July
more
10th.
minutes.
It says July 11th. They're releasing something, with Meat Eater. So that'll be interesting to see.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I wasn't blown away with that one, but it was interesting. Again, I feel like that is more of the recipe that I had a problem with than anything else. It's just a weird combo of foods. I feel like you wouldn't find that on any restaurant order.
yeah.
You wouldn't make that at home. It's just a
So,
weird combo of ingredients.
We were talking price for a second, and I want to get into where all of our rankings sit. But for perspective,
I think it's about $16 at REI for like a Mountain House, right? Something
no,
like that.
it's like
that
12.
no, that's
It's like 12 or 13.
That's no more than 12.
I think it's
12 or
13.
13.
Their Pro Packs might be a little more, but that one's that's their
Yeah,
standard
14.
line. But price wise, we were just talking about the Bison one being over 15 from Peak Refuel. Ready wise, $8.
Yeah, that's crazy. Whoa, that's
So
cheap.
that, I mean, calorie wise is massively different, obviously.
Right.
But
But
you
yeah,
get jokes.
it's they got jokes.
You do get jokes
So-
and riddles and.
I know my. I
That's
can start
worth
us
at
off.
least less money.
I can start us off. I think I know my ranking. Drum roll, please. We'll go top down, right?
Yeah,
We always
yeah,
go
sure,
top
man.
down.
Choose
Okay.
your own adventure here. bud.
Bighorns first. Easy. Carbonara. I f***ing love carbonara.
Me too, dude.
So
yeah,
I was because when
Yeah.
you
do you ever make it at home?
Oh yeah,
Dude, I love making it.
and I remember my
It's so
dad.
easy.
My dad used to make it, or at least his version of it, and there was like peas in there.
Oh, yeah.
He'd just make bacon instead of like that.
Yeah, that's what I
do.
yeah, got
but
no
man,
issues there.
amazing! I have such good memories around carbonara. That's why I picked that over because I was 50-50 between that and the barbecue pulled pork one that you mentioned.
That's
dude.
interesting.
That I was like,
Dying to try that. That sounds really good.
so that one's next on my list.
Might need to bring a loaf of bread for that one.
Yeah,
talk about
and
sandwich.
some pickled veg.
Talk about dense.
dude, right?
Some cornbread.
Yes.
Talk about dense like that.
Right.
Ooh.
Dude, definitely.
Cool.
So carbonara first, and then it was between Ready Wise and Peak Refuel, but I am going to go the Peak Refuel Bison second.
Just based on principle alone, or
No, I it was if it didn't have the biscuit, it would have been totally different. But I think
saved by the biscuit.
Saved by the Biscuit for
There's
sure.
your episode title.
It and it had like it's not. I don't want to say it gives you more points if you just like throw more shit in there, but it did have more variety
Typically,
and more
the
of a
things
dynamic
that
to it.
throw more shit in score less for us.
Yeah, I think it was the only.
That's true.
That's not
true.
entirely true though, because those Trailtopias have very basic stuff in it, and I don't
And
think
they
those
didn't do
have
well.
ever rated
Yeah.
well with us.
Listen, I think Trailtopia is in a world of its own. They're in like the granola land that's like they have real simple ingredients,
I don't know. I'm just not
real
a fan of those
real
guys.
simple
Yeah.
bag, real simple taste. Trailtopia.
And if the only downside is I wish the meat chunks were bigger, like, it's a good meal.
You get over that, yeah.
I agree.
So Chili Mac from Ready Wise is third, and then Mountain House was. None of them were bad. So Mountain House was like good but standard and kind of like eh. That's why it's last.
Yeah.
I don't know. My tooth will beg to disagree.
But all good. That's my lineup.
Huh. Okay. Well, do you want me to go next? Since we're
Sure,
moving along? I guess oh man, it was really hard to decide. I think I'm probably going to go with the Bighorn for number one. It did taste really good. It smelled really good, just right out of the bag too.
And if you put it on a white plate with some fine shine, it would look.
That's what I was gonna say. I really don't. I don't think it tasted like a freeze dried meal. Like it really to me like it felt like if we were upstairs and you put that in front of me, like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, thanks, man. This is
a nice
thank
plate
you.
of pasta.
Okay.
Or
I'm going to argue that. I'm going to argue that because you would never use that style of noodle when making it at home.
I mean,
I'm just saying if
That
you
noodle
put it in
shape
if you
is-
just put it in a bowl,
I don't really
it
get-
would be.
I don't really care about
It would
the
look
noodle
like
shape.
it wasn't freeze dried.
yeah, I don't really care about the noodle shape. That doesn't bother me. So I'm gonna go. That one is the first one. Then I'm gonna go to Peak Refuel.
What's he doing?
I
He's
think-
out of his seat doing something
Yeah,
special over here.
Brian left.
I'm a little scared.
I know.
Watch out for
I
my
know what he's
chicken.
doing. Yeah. So okay. So I'm gonna go Peak Refuel next. I actually think that it tasted a lot better than I guess what you guys had initially thought. I did kind of actually like that the biscuit was crunchy. That to me, it tasted like I was eating chili at home with me crumbling up the crackers and stuff like that with it. So I did like that. It is super filling. So I don't think I'd be able to eat the entire bag. Unless
I'd be carrying half the
unless
bag
I
with
didn't
me.
have like a huge lunch or something like that on the trail, or we hit up like a really heavy, or hard day. So that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be the Mountain House, the fajita bowl, and I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought that Chili Mac was going to kind of put that in the number 3 spot.
You're
but
going fajita bowl third?
I went back to the Chili Mac after having the Mountain House. And I don't know, that the Chili Mac just didn't do it for me. It was fine. It was okay. I could eat it if it was my meal. If it was my only choice. But I think the fajita bowl kind of beat it out after I went back and forth.
Didn't slap for you.
So wait,
Yeah, I
I
don't
missed
know.
all that. Can you say it again?
Yeah, shut up. So I'm gonna go with no. Bighorn.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, Bighorn, Peak Refuel, Mountain House, ReadyWise.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alex.
Cut. I think that's I'm with you. I'll start by saying that I like all of them. The fajita bowl is the one I'm least excited about, but I would still eat it. I wouldn't have it on the trail and say, like shit. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah.
Which is a good. We've had these shootouts before, and that's not been the case.
Take a listen to the
Have
very
we-
first shootout that we did.
Have we had other dishes like that beats out? Like if you're really into, I love fajita. I love rice and just that's like I'm really into
I
that.
would have to look back, but
Didn't
I
we
think
have like a
that-
Southwest rice or
I
something?
think we did. I think we
'Cause
did
I
have
think
something
that's
that was
pretty good if
I
you-
think we
if
did
you
have
like
something
that kind of
similar.
thing.
But I do think that that's a basic bitch backpacking meal.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
not.
It
gonna
feels
blow.
straightforward,
It's
yeah.
straightforward.
I wanna
So if
say
we
I
have
agree
had
with
another
that.
one, there's probably a reason why we don't remember it. It's
Right.
because it's so basic.
But that's also
Yeah.
us. I feel like while I agree with you, of that type of meal that we've probably had, I would say that's probably on the better end of it. Just because it did
It's
have
good.
good flavor and stuff. I'm not super excited
Yeah,
about
it had a
rice
kick
mixed
to
with
it.
It actually had a spice
It had
to
a
it.
spice to it. It
Yeah.
had a kick.
I think the problem with it is it's what it was up against tonight.
And it's just not super exciting unless you're like, I love fajita.
Okay, so wait. You said you're number 1.
Okay, so my number 1 is far and away the Bighorn.
Yeah.
And even so much so, I think it's one of my favorite ones we've ever done on camera.
Wow.
On mic.
It's probably in my top 4 that we've done.
I mean, I would have to really look at all of them to really
yeah.
to feel that way, but you know,
Austin's
whatever.
dancing
It's
around
good.
like, nope, bitch.
I'm going to turn all this upside down.
So that's one.
stir the pot.
2 and 3 for me. Again, I'm kind of in your guys' camp a little bit. It's a little conflicting for me. I think I like the Chili Mac better for number 2.
I knew you were going to.
I think I just
I knew
liked
it.
the taste of it better. I think it was the cumin. Like it just felt. I liked the taste
Cumin.
better. Again, it's probably not something I would buy for the trail because I would read the package and think it's heavy, and that for me would be a deterrent. The bison, I liked it. The biscuit thing to me, and I love the biscuits and gravy one from Peak Refuel. I remember trying it again. I've had it a couple times.
Unreal.
I think it's delicious. And that for me I don't do typically like a breakfast meal. Even if
Right.
I were eating that for dinner, it's not
Yeah.
typically something I would do.
Yeah.
So the biscuit thing, I agree it added to that package, but it would be it'd be a reason for me not to want it.
Oh.
But I like it in there. Without the biscuit, it would be even lower.
Yeah.
And then the fajita, I'm just not a huge fajita guy.
Yeah.
So that flavor combo, I love the
just not your
spice in
thing.
that one, which is funny. Like I would like to rate it higher for that purpose, for just the spice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's 4.
Wow.
When we have episodes where we just take 4 of an exact same meal across 4 brands, maybe that one will win.
Conceivably,
take
yeah.
the
If
fajita-
you talked like a fajita dish from all
From
four
each
brands,
four, yeah.
If we do an all fajited episode, you guys, I'm just probably
No,
not
I'm
gonna
not
show
we're
up.
saying
all
we're
wearing
going
hats. We're all wearing sombreros,
Oh my god!
or like something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fucking awesome.
Instead
yeah,
of Miller
would be-
Lights, we're having Modelo's and
margaritas.
I almost
Those
brought
would-
some.
Limeritas.
That
That
was
would
a
be,
great-
and it doesn't make any
Margs.
sense to do because this
Theme.
It would take anyway. You could do it a million times and never run out. But
We'll
it would
have
be
a
fun.
mariachi band show up.
It would be fun to do like a blind taste test of like a similar dish on 4 different brands and say like go and rate it based
You
on
could not
nothing
get me
but-
in a blindfold with you guys in any way, shape,
No,
or form.
I would say
No, I'm
if
kidding.
you put them in a
Well,
bowl and then labeled them, yeah,
and just
we
take
could
the
do that.
branding away from
Yeah.
it, take all the other
no,
shit.
No,
and just go for
I'm
it.
down
But yeah,
for that.
Anyway,
All right, let me do my 4
Do
real
it.
quick because we've
Yep.
Pfeiffer's got a surprise for us
Yeah,
over
I
here.
got a little
so,
something.
I listen. Bighorn sweeps. I do think it was the best one that we did tonight. I do have some issues with it. I thought it was a little chalky, but man, that pancetta was dope. It was pretty creamy, a little gluey for me, but yeah, really, really knockout. I mean, the 800 calories.
That's
almost
good.
40 grams of protein. That's knockout stuff.
I think, and actually, I don't know if we looked. I think the water usage might have been one of the more reasonable
One
ones
and a half?
of the night too. Was it 1.5? I think
One
it was
and a
1.5.
third.
1 1/4.
One and a
Which
fourth.
was
That's
the
light.
that's the lowest of the group tonight.
touche.
nice.
Yeah.
So
Well,
good.
there
And
you
it
go.
wasn't.
Going big
It
one.
wasn't like a big meal.
No.
Like there wasn't a ton. And I mean, we cashed it. It's gone.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't
a
as
ton of
much.
food,
Yeah, I
yeah.
wouldn't feel like I would be just like have a rock in my stomach after that.
Right.
Yeah,
you know.
true.
I agree.
I'm gonna go Chili Mac number 2, and I think the main reason for that is that it rehydrated so well, and I think it did have a lot of water that you had to use for that, but
Yeah, it was 2 cups.
It wasn't watery, but it rehydrated well. It was moist. It had a good flavor to it. It wasn't overbearing. There was a good balance between the beef and the mac. So I think that was a winner. Again, that's not a flavor that I would typically grab off the shelf, but I would be super happy with that, especially at $8. And some jokes.
Yeah, and
Jokes really
I mean,
make it for you.
I would say the cost of that is a huge upside.
I will,
Yeah.
but I will
it's
say
big.
this: when
Yeah.
I'm backpacking, like, listen, dude, if I was backpacking 3 times a month, yeah, I would probably factor cost in way more.
Yeah.
But how often I go, like, I don't give a shit between $8 and $17. Like,
Right.
I'm just gonna
You're
get
gonna
what
get
I
the
like.
one you want.
I just
Yeah.
get what
I
I
agree.
like,
Yeah.
right?
I agree.
But anyways, moving on. I'm gonna go the Bison Bowl third. The flavor didn't wow me. I didn't like that the biscuits didn't hydrate super well. It just didn't have anything that wowed me. Plus, I think that it's just a weird combination of foods. It's just not it's a weird meal. I feel like it's stuff that people just grabbed out of the pantry because they needed to make some stuff.
They threw it
leftovers.
together.
They threw it together. But it's not offensive. It just wasn't great.
Throw a fried egg on top. Tell me that won't be good.
Well, dude, throw a fried egg on anything.
Yeah, man.
I'll scoop
Listen,
it up.
I could dress
Pop
all
that on
these
some
up.
kibble
Yeah.
and bits, and I'll probably be eating.
Yeah, plate that next to a steak, and we'll call it. Then let's talk. Yeah.
And then the fajitas is last, and mainly because holy shit, my first bite was a huge chunk. It was clucking at me, dude.
That first thing scared me. I'm like, I don't know if I want to try this one.
I was like, oh boy, I thought it was just.
Hold on.
terrible.
It was definitely like a bad piece, right?
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
meal wasn't like that, but dude, I don't like the inconsistency
Yeah,
and the
that
quality.
sucks.
You know what? I
that
didn't say
offends
this
me.
when you brought it up, but you mentioned like, are any of these open and like stir and then
Right.
reseal again? And I was like, well, yeah, that one. I totally didn't do that. So
But
I
you
was
massaged it
I
around,
did.
right?
I was afraid that your bite. I was like, I fucked it up.
If I would have lost a
But
tooth,
it wasn't
would have
that.
been Pfeiffer's fault. You're
That's
paying
true.
for that.
It was not
Going to the
that.
dental
dentist
care.
is on Pfeiffer.
All right. So
We're kind of all over the place with it.
well,
No one had the same
no,
thing.
we all had
the same
Well,
one.
for the same
favorite.
number 1, but 2, 3, and 4 were
No,
all
but-
different.
But and I will say this too, like
What
Bighorn.
was your number 4? I
you
thought you were
guys
still.
Number 4 was Ready Wise.
Oh, okay. I thought we
was
all
my number
had the
2.
same
So
top and bottom.
you were number
Okay.
you were number 2 at the Bison.
I was
That's
number
right,
2 at
that's
the
right.
Bison. Yes, that was the only one. I
me
think
and
that did
Al are
that.
the same, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, you guys
So-
were the same.
Yeah.
Before we
okay.
close up, when I bought the Bison meal, shout out to Peak Refuel for real. Despite they didn't get top pick across the board today,
Still love you.
Number 2 for
they-
me, though, guys.
they have. They do. I think it was 20% across the
Brian@trail3.com.
board. Right. They do 20% discount across the board for like military and service members, and I think police
That's
and everything.
great.
So
Yeah, that's
when
cool.
I bought a few things from Peak Refuel, and in addition to that, I think it was because the shipping took like an extra day or something. They threw in their new
If you
peak
like
refuel
pina
coladas.
Oh my god!
So I'm gonna
Shout out to Rupert Holmes.
we're going up. We're going up right now. Peak refill. I love you. And then I had this, and I want you guys to taste it and see if I'm crazy or.
Wait, how do we try
Hold
this?
on,
We
what do you
drink it
mean?
out
So-
of a pack?
No. I already made it.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
how do you make it?
Don't tell us anything.
So
Don't
it's,
tell
I mean,
us
it's,
anything.
it's a powder drink.
Let the man talk.
It's
so
a
we're
powder
doing
drink.
it fancy. So there's ice and water and powder.
hell
in here.
yeah.
Okay.
Make sure
So,
you guys bring a
Things that you
shaker.
bring on the trail.
Make sure you bring a shaker with you.
So help us understand. Are they like
So-
little,
Or
are
is that
they like
bring a
liquid
dedicated
IV pouches
bartender.
or
It's a re-energizing hydration blend for improved performance, extended energy, and increased focus.
Is there
are
booze
they
in there?
are they pouches
No.
or what?
They are, yes. I'll
How
pull
do
one
they
out.
come?
Yeah, it's like the liquid IV
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't know what
it's
you
not
was
all
in
this.
there.
Yeah,
And
there's
getting
like
caught
10
in the
of this packet.
Okay.
So you guys can look at that, and I'll pour. We only have 2 cups. We're gonna have to share a little bit, but let's have a taste test.
Oh my god!
I guess you could bring
little-
like some alcohol on the side.
Dude, you
and
could totally smack.
adult this up.
Yeah, bring a
Knock
flask.
some. A pina colada is a tequila drink, right?
Isn't it rum?
I don't think I've ever had a pina colada.
It's
I
rum.
think it's rum. Yeah.
Is it
think it's
rum? Oh,
rum.
I hate rum, so never mind. I'm not even gonna try it.
I don't know. You
like
put
rum.
me at a pool.
Yeah, I guess there's like so much shit in this and sugar and flavor that you're not gonna notice it's rum.
So there you go, Brad.
Oh, I'm trying this first.
Yeah, I mean, I've had it. I'll have it again, but I'll let you guys try it out.
Yeah, pass the sticks.
What are these little? Is this just not mixed soup?
I mean, I shook it. It should be.
just a little
Well,
sediment on
that's
the
how it
bottom.
mixes.
It doesn't.
That's delightful.
Do you? Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You like
Oh,
it?
that's okay.
I like
that's not
it.
bad.
Let me hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna. There's a caveat here.
You didn't use a shaker to make your first
He
one.
did put rum in it.
You didn't have ice.
I didn't
have
use shaker, and it wasn't that cold. So I had this. As soon as I got it, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to try this out," and I threw it in my Nalgene. I had a liter of water, and I was like, "Boom, shake it up." It was terrible.
Oh, really?
It was the worst.
I think
if this is
anything
anything
cold.
but ice cold, because I just tasted
I
this
could,
again
I
now.
could
It's
see
okay.
if this was
Yeah.
lukewarm, it not being good.
I will say this.
I'm also not a big pina colada guy.
So I
but-
have I have powder that I use in water every single day from this brand called Element, LMNT.
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a zero sugar, high magnesium, hydration type
Yeah,
of thing,
yeah.
right? I love them. My wife and I both just mow them down. We get boxes and just tear through them. And if it's not cold, it's horrible.
right. Okay. So
Horrible, dude. It's bad.
Horrible.
Yeah. No, you gotta say like, horrible. No, but it's really bad if it's like room temperature, especially like the one that I have. They're really a lot of sodium in it, a lot of salt
Yeah.
to them, and so it kind of tastes like room, like seawater. Because they're like lime
Yeah.
flavored. It's
Okay.
just like a margarita that's been sitting out and got hot.
Yeah, like, I'm not a
It's
fan of
bad,
that.
right? But
Yeah.
cold or like with ice, it's like the best. So that's probably similar
okay.
to this. Yeah.
So yeah,
A little nipper.
So I was temporarily crazy.
Ooh,
I'm
baby.
not a big it came free and it was awesome. But they have other flavors. I
Yeah,
think
it's
one
cool
or
that
two.
it was free.
And that aren't pina colada. I'm not a big pina colada guy. But yeah, those are that's something
How about
Peak
that?
Refuel has. And is there caffeine in that?
Dude, okay. So first of all, no sugar in this, which is dope.
Right. Yeah.
I love that. Ooh, there's some vitamin D. We got vitamin C. Blah blah blah. B12. There's a little bit of magnesium, not a bunch. I don't think there's any caffeine.
yeah,
no.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's but I mean it's a hydration thing. And I
usually don't do.
I always take a
caffeine
liquid
unless you're,
IV
like,
or
focused.
I haven't taken the Element, but I've had those, or I'll take a Prime or something. I always take those on trips.
Yeah,
every single
I think
time.
that was refreshing. I mean, if you told me we had some glacier water and
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
it was cold and like we were sitting around maybe not a fire or maybe a fire, that would be good.
If
I
you
would
want
enjoy that.
to have some, take some. If you want to bring them on the next trip,
Yeah,
they're
you could.
up for grabs. They're awesome.
There might be. See, it says in here that it's there is like naturally sourced caffeine in here, but I don't see like an amount or anything like that in there. Usually they would say, how
I mean,
much
it says it's for
caffeine is on there.
energy and stuff. There's got to be something in there. But
Yeah,
anyway,
Yeah, but
thank
that's
you,
like
Peak Refuel.
that's like the taurine.
Yeah.
There's coffee bean extract in here so that does have some caffeine,
Yeah.
I guess, but it doesn't really say how much. No, this is like all good stuff. This is like most of this is like what you want in a hydration powder. So
Yeah,
this
cool.
is solid.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I want to share that with you guys.
Yeah.
I
So
dig
that's it.
Wow. Well, I hope you guys liked the episode. We got to try some new stuff. Got to try a new brand that was awesome. Bighorn. Shout out to you guys. I'd be interested to try more of those things. If you've had Bighorn before, let us know the
sponsor us.
flavors, and
Thanks.
we'll order whatever you guys think is the best one from them. Emails trail3pod@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Those guys, hit us up. Leave us a comment. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. The Trail Theory Podcast is sponsored by Audimute and Audio Technica. Music by Dan Koch.